Welcome Sussex Ambassadors friends to another enlightening video, and if you haven't yet, do subscribe to our channel. Today we delve into a topic that has left many baffled and bewildered: the unjust attacks on Prince Harry by the Heritage Foundation and their right-wing allies. It's a level of obsession that borders on insanity, a fixation that has seen them openly call for Prince Harry's self-deportation from the United States. Their reasoning? A baseless claim that Harry hates America. Let's set the record straight. Prince Harry has never expressed any form of hatred towards America. On the contrary, he has repeatedly voiced his happiness at living in the U.S., a fact conveniently overlooked by his detractors. The source of these falsehoods? None other than Samuel Dewey and the Daily Mail, who seem hell-bent on pushing a fictional narrative. Dewey even went as far as alleging that Harry is furious about the US election, as though that's a valid reason for him to leave. This is nothing short of absolute nonsense. The real motive behind these attacks is clear. These individuals want Harry gone, not because of any genuine grievance, but because they cannot bear to see him thrive. They had hoped to see him broken, isolated, and forced back into a life he willingly left behind. But their plan has spectacularly failed. Harry has moved on, and they simply cannot stand it. The relentless harassment of Harry has to stop. This obsession with controlling his life, spinning outrageous lies, and spreading hatred serves no purpose but to fuel their own agenda. But the truth remains unaltered. Harry is free, happy, and successful. There is absolutely nothing they can do about it. As we can see, these attacks are not based on any real issues, but on a manufactured narrative. It's high time we saw through these desperate lies and recognized them for what they are: a pitiful attempt at tarnishing the reputation of a man who is merely living his life as he sees fit. So, where are these falsehoods coming from, you may ask? The answer lies in two major culprits: Samuel Dewey, an analyst at the Heritage Foundation, and the notorious British tabloid, the Daily Mail. Both have been instrumental in propagating these unfounded claims about Prince Harry. Let's delve into this, shall we? Samuel Dewey, in his audacity, has been fiercely peddling a narrative that is not only completely baseless, but also downright fallacious. Dewey would have us believe that Prince Harry is furious about the American political landscape, a claim so preposterous it barely warrants addressing. But let's set the record straight. Harry has never expressed such sentiments. In fact, his actions suggest quite the opposite. He is not only happily residing in the US, but is actively contributing to society through his numerous philanthropic endeavors. The Daily Mail, on the other hand, notorious for its sensationalism and disregard for the truth, has been all too eager to amplify Dewey's falsehoods. Their incessant attempts to tarnish Harry's image are nothing short of desperate. The tabloid has been relentless in their pursuit to paint an unflattering picture of Harry, even going as far as to suggest that he harbors ill will towards the country he now calls home. But why? What could possibly be their motivation to spread such dishonesty? The answer is simple. They are desperate to push a narrative that fits their agenda. A narrative that seeks to undermine Harry and discredit his decision to step away from his royal duties and forge his own path. Their claims are not only deceitful, but they are also an affront to journalistic integrity. They are baseless accusations, crafted to mislead and provoke. A blatant disregard for the truth that is as alarming as it is disappointing. The lengths to which these entities will go to tarnish Harry's image is truly astounding. The audacity of their lies is only matched by their blatant disregard for the truth. Harry deserves better, and so do we. But why all this fuss? What could possibly be their motive? Well, let's delve into that. The Heritage Foundation, Samuel Dewey, and the Daily Mail, they all have one common denominator. It's not a love for truth or a respect for privacy. Rather, it's an insatiable thirst for control and a disdain for anyone who defies their narrow worldview. And Prince Harry, dear friends, is a glaring defiance of their expectations. See, they can't stand to see Harry thrive. They can't bear to witness him carving out a life of his own, free from the shackles they so desperately wanted to keep him in. They wanted Harry broken. They wanted him isolated. They wanted him forced back into a life he had willingly left behind for his happiness and mental well-being. But why, you might ask? Because his happiness, his success, his freedom, it all undermines their narrative. It disrupts the story they've been peddling to the world. They've painted a picture of a disgruntled prince, unhappy and regretful of his decisions. But Harry's reality, his contentment and independence, it shatters their illusion. And that simply doesn't sit well with them. And so, they resort to lies. They fabricate stories, they twist facts, all in a desperate bid to tarnish his reputation, to make him seem ungrateful and unpatriotic. They want to push him into a corner, hoping that he'd crumble under the pressure and return to the life he had left behind. But they forget one thing. Harry is no longer the prince bound by their rules. He is an individual who has chosen his path, a path of authenticity and freedom. They thought they could break him, isolate him, force him back into their mold. But they underestimated his resilience, his strength, and most importantly, his determination to protect his happiness at all costs. Their plan to isolate and break Harry has utterly failed, and that's something they cannot stomach. The constant harassment of Harry, however, needs to stop. It's become a relentless cycle, driven by obsession, spite, and a desire to control a life that is not their own. This isn't just about differing opinions or political disagreements anymore. This is about a group of people who are so fixated on one man's life that they've lost sight of what's real and what's not. They've spun a web of ridiculous lies, each one more outlandish than the last. They've painted a picture of Prince Harry that is so far from the truth, it's laughable. Yet these lies are not harmless. They're a tool, a weapon used to spread hatred and malice. And it's not just Harry who suffers, it's his family, his friends, and the countless people around the world who look up to him. But here's the thing, the truth remains. Despite their relentless efforts, despite their constant attempts to drag him down, Prince Harry is still standing. He's free from the constraints that once held him back. He's found happiness in his life, in his work, and in his family. He's successful, not just in terms of his career, but in the way he's managed to navigate through a world that seems hell-bent on tearing him apart. And this is what they can't stand. They can't stand the fact that Harry has moved on, that he's thriving. They can't stand the fact that he's no longer under their control. So they lash out, they spread lies, they harass and they hound. But at the end of the day, it's all for naught. Because Harry's happiness and success are not up for debate. They're not dependent on the opinions of the Heritage Foundation, Samuel Dewey, the Daily Mail, or anyone else. His happiness and success are undeniable truths, and no amount of lies can change that. We've covered a lot of ground today, friends. We've dissected the unjust attacks on Prince Harry, traced these fabrications back to their source, and unraveled the motive behind the lies. It's clear that the Heritage Foundation, Samuel Dewey, and the Daily Mail are hell-bent on pushing a false narrative about Harry. A narrative that is rooted in desperation and hatred, not fact. These people are trying to control Harry's life and are spreading ridiculous lies, all while hiding behind a facade of concern. Yet the truth is clear. Harry is free, happy and successful, and there is nothing they can do about it. They wanted him broken, isolated, and forced back to a life he left behind. But their plan has failed spectacularly. Thank you for joining us on this journey of truth-seeking. Your time, attention, and engagement are deeply appreciated. You've taken a step towards understanding the reality of the situation, and we commend you for that. Remember, the importance of spreading the truth cannot be overstated, especially in today's world where misinformation is rampant. As fans, critics, or simply observers of Prince Harry, we owe it to him and to ourselves to challenge the narrative, question the sources, and seek the truth. Prince Harry has made it clear that he loves America. He has never said otherwise. Let's not allow these desperate voices to drown out the truth. Let's not let them control the narrative. So what can you do? Stay informed, stay aware, challenge the narrative, and most importantly, share the truth. The more people know about the reality of the situation, the less power these lies hold. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our content so we can continue spreading the truth. Until next time, stay aware and stay informed.